5 Strangest Abandoned Cities, Ghost Town. Pripyat, the ghost town of Chernobyl. Pripyat, the ghost town of Chernobyl. When the Chernobyl nuclear disaster took place in 1986, a large area of land was heavily contaminated by radioactivity. The Soviet government ordered the evacuation of over 90,000 people living in proximity to the disaster area. Inside the so-called Chernobyl exclusion zone lies the now abandoned city of Pripyat. Pripyat was founded in 1970 to house workers for the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Officially proclaimed a city in 1979, its population reached 50,000 people before the accident. Pripyat was a fully functional city with 15 primary schools, 1 hospital, malls and restaurants, and a primarily young population of factory workers. After the Chernobyl disaster, the residents had 2 days to evacuate the city. They were told to carry with them their documents, a few vital personal belongings and some food. Everything else was left behind. Today, the levels of radioactivity have decreased significantly and the city, although still excluded and guarded by the army, is visited by guided tours. 2. Centralia, Pennsylvania, the modern ghost town. Jonathan Faust opened Bull's Head Tavern in Centralia in 1841, and Centralia was incorporated as a borough in 1866. The anthracite coal industry was the principal employer in the community until the 1960s, when most of the companies went out of business. An exposed vein of coal ignited in 1962 thanks to weekly garbage burning, and as a result a huge underground coal fire commenced. Attempts to extinguish the fire were unsuccessful, and it continued to burn throughout the 1960s and 1970s. Adverse health effects were reported by several people due to the carbon monoxide produced. In 1979, locals became aware of the scale of the problem when a gas station reported a fuel temperature of 172 degrees Fahrenheit, 77.8 degrees Celsius. This provoked widespread attention, boosted in 1981 when a 12-year-old almost plunged to his death. A 4-foot-wide, 150-foot-deep sinkhole suddenly opened beneath his feet. In 1984, $42 million was spent on relocation, with most residents moving to the nearby Mount Carmel and Ashland. In 1992, Pennsylvania condemned all houses within the borough, meaning that of the 1,000 plus residents in 1981, only a handful now remain, mainly priests. The fire still rages on, and according to experts could do so for another 250 years. 3. Skrunda 1 was once a Soviet secret city located in Latvia. Skrunda 1 was once a Soviet secret city located in Latvia, which housed 2 powerful early warning radars. Following the breakup of the USSR, however, the radar installations were shut down and dismantled, and by 1999 Skrunda 1 became a ghost town and a popular tourist attraction. Following the breakup of the USSR, however, the radar installations were shut down and dismantled, and by 1999 Skrunda 1 became a ghost town and a popular tourist attraction. Skrunda 1, also known as Skrunda 2, is a ghost town and former Soviet radar station located 5 kilometers 3 miles to the north of Skrunda, in Ranki Parish, Latvia. It was the site of 2 Dnepr radar NATO hen house radar installations constructed in the 1960s. A aerial radar was being built there before the collapse of the Soviet Union. Skrunda was strategically important to the Soviet Union as its radars covered Western Europe. The 2 barn-like radars were one of the most important Soviet early warning radar stations for listen to objects in space and for tracking possible incoming ICBMs. 4. Abandoned city Fatehpur Sikri, India. The abandoned city in Rajasthan has an eerie quality to its beautiful red stone. The one-time imperial playground and pleasure palace is a majestic architectural gem of huge arches and suitably regal proportions. Fatehpur Sikri is a small city in northern India, just west of Agra, founded by a 16th-century Mughal emperor. Red sandstone buildings cluster at its center. Buland Darwaza Gate is the entrance to Jama Masjid Mosque. Nearby is the marble tomb of Salim Chishti. Donikaz Hall has a carved central pillar. Jadabai Palace is a mix of Hindu and Mughal styles, next to the 5-story Panch Mahal that overlooks the site. 5. Abandoned city of Detroit, a real zombieland. As of July 18, 2013, the Motor City officially ran out of gas. Filing for Chapter 9 bankruptcy, Detroit's debts, a whopping $18 to $20 billion, represent the largest municipal filing for bankruptcy in United States history. And as its solvency has gone down the drain, so too has its population. In 1950, the burgeoning industrial city was home to nearly 2 million Americans. But today, as Detroit's population has dwindled to a mere 700,000, the only boom Detroit has seen rests in the number of abandoned buildings popping up within city limits. As evidenced by the following photos of an abandoned Detroit, those remaining might have a hard time forging optimism about the future when constantly surrounded by brick-laid ghosts.